The story of Vinesh Phogat is all over the media. The point here is that we are consuming information and the updates without actually paying attention to the real story, the inside story, the true saga. And I'm going to break it down for you in 4 simple points. You're watching Viewpoint. I'm Afrida Rahman Ali. The first point that I want to make is that you had the sports minister of this country make a statement in Parliament while the Vinesh Phogat controversy was raging, while her disqualification issue was being discussed. And what did the minister say? The minister gave us an account of the amount of money that was spent by the ministry to get these athletes to the Olympic Forum, the kind of training that they were made to go through, the kind of focus and effort that the government made, and the kind of funds that were devoted to ensure that these athletes have the best of training. What exactly is the minister trying to tell us at this point?
भारत सरकार ने विनेश फोगाट की उनकी आवश्यकता के अनुसार हर संभव सहायता प्रदान की है। उनके लिए पर्सनल स्टाफ भी नियुक्त किए गए हैं जो अपने क्षेत्र के विशेषज्ञ हैं। ऑलेर अकोच कोच के रूप में उसके साथ थे, वैन पैट्रिक लॉम्बार्ड स्ट्रेंथ और कंडीशनिंग विशेषज्ञ, अश्विनी जीवन पाटिल फिजियोथेरापिस्ट, मयंक सिंह गरिया स्ट्रेंथ और कंडीशनिंग विशेषज्ञ, शुभम और अरविंद स्पारिंग पार्टनर। इनको पेरिस ओलंपिक चक्र के लिए कुल 70,45,775 की वित्तीय सहायता दी गई है।
Is there an insinuation there that we did everything on our part? Despite that, if things didn't work out, it is Vinesh herself to be blamed. Is that what is being implied here? Because what else explains giving us an account of how much money was spent? This is not a favor done to any athlete. These are athletes competing for the country in an international level. So if there was money spent on their training, if there was money spent on their grooming, that is due to them, Mr. Minister, is what I want to say. The second point about journalists who are tweeting away, the keyboard warriors who are at it about how Vinesh was given a choice. She was given a preferential treatment. She was allowed to choose her coach, her dietitian. She was allowed to get into the 50 kilogram without trials. Remember, she lost to Anju for the 53 kg category, and she was qualified for the 50 kilogram category for the Olympic wrestling. And then we know what happened. But now it is being made out as if Vinesh was given that choice. She was given that liberty. And despite that, she failed. So again, that insinuation there that it is, after all, her own fate. There was nothing that anyone else could have done about it. Is this the time to cast aspersions on someone like Vinesh Phogat, who literally put blood, sweat and tears to get to the final bout, which she failed to qualify for? Is this the time? Where is the sensitivity? Where is the respect for an Olympian of her stature? The third point is, I also want to ask a question about the support staff. Why do I see an attempt to shield the support staff? There are people who have been employed to ensure that the diet is monitored, to ensure that the weight is monitored. That is their job. That is the reason the contingent goes to Olympics with their entire paraphernalia of support staff. Their only job is to ensure that the athlete remains within the parameters of the Olympic rules, and there is no chance of any violation, and there is proper focus and training and coaching that goes into it before the event. What exactly makes you believe that none of these people are responsible for what happened? 100 grams of excess weight. Why was she, to begin with, allowed to put on the 2 kgs weight, which I think by any liberal estimate, anybody can tell would be difficult to lose within a few hours? Where were those people who were supposed to monitor? One understands that after her semi-final bout, it's a tremendous exhaustion. One needs to replenish with fluids, one needs to hydrate, one would have taken a good amount of intake of water and food. But there is somebody out there who is supposed to monitor these things at a very, very crucial moment before the final bout for the Olympic gold. So I think that somewhere we are missing out on pinning responsibility at the right people. Because it sounds extremely unconvincing if you tell me that overnight 2 kgs were put on and then all but 100 grams were not lost. I'm sure it's possible it has happened, but for it to happen, somebody must take responsibility. And the fourth important point that I must say before I conclude, it is that look at the Olympic rules. Is it only me who's wondering that when you had the case of Angela Curran competing against Imane Khalif in the boxing championship, there the argument was that Imane Khalif does not have any physical advantage because of excess testosterone, because birth certificate says female, passport says female, she is qualified to compete in the women category. So if it is about unfair advantage, 100 grams, are the Olympic rules now telling us that this is against rules because this gives an unfair advantage? 100 grams would have given extra advantage to Vinesh Phogat to compete in the final bout. I mean, at least I can't process this. That should we be looking at the rules again? Is it time to relook at them, redefine them so that there is a even playing field? After all, these are athletes that have worked decades to get there. It's never easy from a state like Haryana to make it, first of all, to choose a sport like wrestling for a girl, and then to make it to this level, and then to face this level of disappointment. It is, of course, unfortunate that politics has taken over as well. While we would have liked the government and the opposition to go hand in hand and pressurize the Indian Olympic Association initially to reverse the decision if possible while there was time. Of course, that ship has sailed. There's no more time for that. But now at least press for a silver medal for Vinesh Phogat. Instead, what is happening? I see an undertone of blame game. The opposition clearly has seized the opportunity to talk about the wrestlers' protest and how Vinesh was in the forefront of things, and her fight was against her very own federation. So maybe the federation decided to get back at her. Those conspiracy theories are being floated. I would refrain from commenting on that. But yes, politics must not take over. Politics has no place in sports. Thanks for watching.